In the previous lesson, we went over how to tag documents using the tag function, creating checkboxes and marking them during a document review. While for most reviews the checkbox method would work fine, they do present two small drawbacks. First, the checkboxes cannot be secured based on user. Therefore, the list of tags needs to be available to everyone or no one at the same time. And second, while it is convenient to simply click a checkbox, it can sometimes be a little too convenient. It is possible for temp reviewers to accidentally mark the wrong box, thereby assigning the wrong tag. So, instead of the checkboxes, we can make one of these text boxes into an issue a tag field. Meaning instead of looking at the document and checking off these boxes on the left, the edit screen would be used and the reviewer would type or select the actual issue from a list. In this demo, we'll use the issue field that already exists in the database. Obviously, having multiple reviewers simply type in the issues would cause a lot of variation within the issue terms. So what we would need to do is lock down those terms that can be used within this issue box. We begin by going to the Edit menu at the top of the screen and then selecting this Validation option. Let's look through some of these options on this validation screen. On the left, we have a list of fields that exist in this database. And any of these options that we set on the right will be applied to the field that we select on the left. So, in this case, we'll choose the Issue field. And here to the right are the options that force the formatting of any text that is entered into the Issue field. By checking off the appropriate boxes, I can force the text to be in all caps or all lowercase, allow only the use of alphabets or allow only the use of numbers, disable rich text, and so on. And on top of all these options, I can also have either the creation date or the edit date automatically added. These two radio buttons, if applied to a field, will automatically add the edit or create date to a particular field whenever the edit view is activated. It's a simple way to track who and when an edit was made. Next is the option to specify the authority list to use for choosing issue codes. Basically, this is the box where we specify which issue terms can be inputted into this issue field. If you already have a list available, you can simply browse to it on the network, but for this demo, we'll build one from scratch. All I have to do is find a location to put the list, and then give the list a name. Maybe I'll call it first level privilege list.lst. And now I'll click the Open button. Notice I'm now asked if I want to create the new list since it does not currently exist. Clicking Yes, and the list is created, and you'll now notice that the options below the list are available. These four options here describe the format of the authority list. The first box, required for data entry, will force the reviewer to select an issue before moving on from this issue field. This other option, single entry field, will force the reviewer to pick only one term from the issue list, meaning there cannot be multiple entries. List updatable by user means that if the user typed in the word that is not currently on the list of issues, the user will have the opportunity to add it to the current list. Now, depending on how much rights you want your reviewers to have, you may want to first create the entire list and then take this checkbox away. Uppercase conversion simply forces the text to be in all caps. And this last box here, the delimiter, is the punctuation which will be used to separate multiple terms in the same box. For this demo, I'll change it to a semicolon. Once you have everything selected, we can simply click OK. Now let's run through some of these options in the real-life demo. So if I go to the Edit view and select the Issue field, you can see that a blank box pops up. I can also activate this box by holding down the Control and L keys. Now, because this is a new list, you can see that there are no tags to choose from. And remember that when I first created this list, I checked off the box that says Updatable by User. Therefore, I now have this insert key to be able to add new terms to this list. So let's start by adding in a few issues. First, I'll put in work product privilege, then attorney-client privilege, and not privilege. Now to choose the issue that I want to go into the field, I simply double-click on the term that I want, and then close out the screen. The term is now added. Let's do this again, but this time I'll take away the user's rights to update the list. I'll go to Edit, select the Issue field, and uncheck the Updatable by User box. Now when I go to a new record and into the Edit view, the Insert button is gone. I am forced to select one of these existing privilege calls. So as you can see, depending on the habits and preferences of your review team, using these authority lists is a viable option for tagging without checkboxes. However, one thing you should keep in mind when using the edit screen to select tags, you'll want to enable security and concordance so that all the rest of these metadata fields are locked down. You don't want anyone accidentally changing the author or date information, for example. By enabling security, you can build multiple fields for various levels of issue review, something you cannot do using tags. And the methods for applying security to these various fields will be discussed on this DVD.